Father Christian approached and asked, "Tell me, why this decision?" His son immediately replied, "If we let Cox live, the entire Orthodox clan will plot and fabricate false evidence to cover this up. We can't be too lenient with them. Furthermore, I intend for everyone here to remember the truth of this matter." Everyone was taken aback. Christian's eyes showed seriousness, devoid of any jest. "Eskid has been trying to undermine me." Father Christian, hearing his son, only frowned and broke out in a cold sweat. Then he opened a spatial portal and ordered Christian, "Follow me." They passed through the portal to a training ground. Christian asked, "Where are we?" His father replied, "This is a secret training area, there are too many eyes in the courtroom." He then seriously addressed the main issue, "What you just said, you mean Eskid will cause further trouble due to the succession conflict. The power and prestige of a clan are directly tied to the successor they support. Your decision was right, but I feel you may have acted too hastily. However, with the current situation, we should support the eldest young lady. The eldest young master isn't an option, he's a bloodthirsty madman." Christian looked away and replied, "There's another choice." He smiled and said, "I will become the successor." Hearing this, Father Christian quickly objected, "That's absurd." His son didn't care and explained, "A person from a branch family can be recognized as the successor if they possess sufficient ability. It's merely a formality that isn't enforced. You didn't know about that. Why do you think Eskid is trying to undermine you?" Father Christian stated the reality, "When you were younger, you might have been more talented than Eskid, but now you're far behind him." His son didn't concede, "I'll catch up quickly, but to do that, I need your help. Please use your authority to propose that I participate in the Dark Holy Rite in 2 months." Father Christian questioned, "You need a 2-star rank to participate, you understand you're only 1 star, right?" His son didn't give up, "I'll definitely reach 2-star within the next 2 months. His father was astonished. "What?" Christian flashed a bright smile and pleaded, "So please help me, Father." After resolving everything and returning to the mansion, the servants immediately talked to each other. "Young master has completely changed." The maid said, "I heard the count is personally training him." The male servant chimed in, "You mean that grueling training course that even veteran knights struggle with? I wonder how long he'll last." Meanwhile, Christian cleaved a monster in 2 with a single stroke. His eyes were sharp as he said, "Bind with mud swordsmanship and finish with black flame swordsmanship." After killing the monster, he turned to his father and asked, "Right?" Father Christian was surprised, "I only started teaching him black flame swordsmanship today, and he understood immediately." Christian seemed impatient, "But do I really have to do it this way, keep them separate like that?" His father was slightly confused. "What?" Christian, sword in hand, dashed forward, "I think there's a more efficient way." Suddenly, he appeared swiftly beneath the monster. Then, with a powerful strike, he killed it. Father Christian was shocked by Christian's incredibly impressive display. "Mud swordsmanship, how?" Christian sighed and explained, "The mushroom man's limbs are sturdy enough to withstand mud swordsmanship. But I used extreme swordsmanship and enveloped it in black flame sword energy." Seeing the sword enveloped in magic, Father Christian was stunned. He was inwardly astounded, a 1-star couldn't do that. However, outwardly he maintained his composure. "That's formidable power, but using 2 techniques simultaneously will make spellcasting more difficult." Christian denied it, "It's not that difficult, there's no inconvenience at all." Now he was truly shocked. 15 days later, Christian lay exhausted on the training ground. Sweat dripping, he thought, "Damn it, running is exhausting, and I can't do Qualois because physical strength is the key to improving power." While Christian rested, someone appeared and asked, "Are you exhausted, sir? The match is not far away, you know," but I was eagerly waiting for the scheduled day to arrive and it turned out to be Melon. As soon as I saw Melon, I couldn't help but exclaim in her heart that she always had a strong spirit. Finally, Christian stood up and continued practicing. "I'm trying my best not to disappoint you." Melon expressed her disdain for you. "I know your amazing progress, but you're still just a 1-star, young master. If you can't satisfy my expectations, don't expect me to kneel before you." Christian remained confident, "Yes, I'm sure that could happen, but even so, I believe I'll learn something from the match, so it won't be in vain. Seeing Christian's continued bravado satisfied Melon, she left, still full of vitality. I hope you'll surpass your limits and satisfy me. He watched Melon leave and judged her to be a high-level 4-star. To explain, within a realm, there are 3 distinct levels, low, middle, and high. She's a high-level 1-star, I'm far behind her, however. I come from a wealthy family, or as some might say, a wallet warrior. As he thought this, he tightened his belt and revealed a cruel smile. The day of the match finally arrived. Christian went in and asked Marie, "Marie, have you prepared for the trip?" Marie quickly replied, "Of course. It's our first trip together, and I deliberately dressed impressively." Seeing Marie like that startled him. "I never said you were coming with me, Marie, you're mistaken, I understand, you're probably worried I'll fall for you." "Don't worry, serving you, young master, is my honor." He was helpless. How could a banshee monster fall in love? Earlier, Christian had asked his father, "Father, can we replace the maid with a human?" His father quickly refused. "No, you've signed a master-servant contract with Marie, haven't you? A high-level banshee cannot be managed without a contract." Christian angrily asked, "Then father, can't you show me how to cancel the contract?" Christian's father quickly pointed out the solution. "I believe that would require a deep kiss with Marie. To be fair, the contract states." Hearing this, Christian tore his hair out in frustration. "You useless old man, useless Christian." Back to the present, Christian flatly refused Marie. "Anyway, you can't come with me, I'm going to a crowded place." Marie showed a disappointed expression. "But I was looking forward to this trip." He sweat profusely, explaining, "It's just that your spiritual energy could harm others." Marie looked resentful. "I've been locked in this villa for decades." Seeing how pitiful Marie was, Christian helplessly agreed, "All right, you can go, but don't appear in front of others." Marie blossomed with joy. "Thank you, young master, you're the best." He brushed his hands, saying, "Just follow me." Christian and Marie began their journey. Marie leaned closer, curious, "But young master, where are we going?" He quickly replied, "To a place where I can make money." Marie, hearing this, lifted her skirt, causing his money to fall everywhere. She curiously asked, "Young master, you already have so much money." Seeing his money falling, he panicked, saying it wasn't much and picked it up. Marie wondered again, if not money, then gold, or land ownership. He smiled and denied it. "Wrong." Marie seemed stumped. Christian quickly offered an answer, "It's something we've used before." Thurn, who had been on the carriage the whole time, complained about his lateness. Seeing Thurn there stiffened him. He nervously asked, "Thurn, what are you doing here?" Thurn stated his purpose, "I'm here to watch you, in case you act like a scoundrel." Christian affirmed, "No, don't worry." Christian proudly declared, "Like a king, anyway, I'm just on my way to the casino." Thurn exclaimed in surprise, "What?" Christian got into the carriage, not forgetting to impart some trendy knowledge to Thurn. "We're villains, you know, it's natural for us to indulge in alcohol and gambling. Gambling is even encouraged by the Demon Emperor and has a reason for being legal." Thurn, without hesitation, decided to join him. "Then I'll go with you." Christian was surprised. Then, he shamelessly got on the carriage, feeling proud. "Thurn, are you worried about your dear brother?" Thurn, struck by the comment, denied it. "Why would I worry about you? I'm only worried you'll disgrace the family." The carriage started moving, but the two brothers continued their chatter. "You know, I think this will be quite exciting for a bookworm like you. Do you know the rules?" Thurn innocently asked. "Isn't gambling just playing cards?" Thurn declared firmly, "I'll put a stop to your arrogance, brother." Christian teased, "Oh, you're not scared." Christian felt a surge of excitement. "Ha, this stubborn little brother, today you'll be a loser, Thurn." After a while, they arrived at a magnificent casino. Thurn, seeing it for the first time, exclaimed, "Wow, I didn't expect a building could look like that." Marie, experiencing it for the first time, was also excited. "My woman's heart is about to flutter." Only Christian remained calm, having been there countless times. He suddenly gave Thurn a mask. "Now, don't act like a country bumpkin, put this on, you can only enter after disguising yourself." Christian reminded Marie, Marie, hide yourself now so no one sees you, come closer, let me whisper something. He gave her a task, go and. Marie happily replied, I'll follow your orders, young master. As soon as he finished speaking, she quickly disappeared. Thurn, confused, asked, where did Marie go? He put on his mask, don't worry about that, let's go in quickly. As soon as they entered the casino, everyone looked up. They looked around. Veteran casino players, seeing them for the first time, sneered, thinking they had an easy win. Looks like some fat, naive chicks, they're walking right into the lion's den. Christian came closer to Thurn and challenged him, do you want to bet to see who will win more in an hour? If you win, I will call you brother for a month. Thurn heard that and immediately got a little interested. Really, he continued to say the condition, but if you lose, you will have to call me the respected emperor's brother. Thurn, hearing the strange title, asked, what, don't talk so much, here's a bag of money, if you're scared, forget it. Thurn lit up the fire with fighting spirit and grabbed the bag of money in his hand. Who said you were afraid? As I left, Thurn's eyes were filled with enthusiasm. At a blackjack table, the dealer flipped the cards, and it was a blackjack. A man beside him patted him on the shoulder, congratulations, young master, you're quite good, if you keep playing, I'm sure you'll make a fortune. Christian pretended to be a happy fool when he made his first batch of money. Today's luck is good. He silently calculated their plan from the beginning, they would let us win moderately. By tempting overconfident novices, they targeted those who bet big. I know exactly how these swindlers operate, and suddenly, an unbelievable sound echoed, impossible. Thurn clutched his head in panic, it was clearly a good hand, and yet, another novice had fallen for the trap. Christian approached, asking, then, shall we go home and sleep? Thurn questioned, you lost too. Christian quickly replied, only 500 rupees. Thurn retorted, I didn't do so badly either, I only lost 1,000 rupees. The others, observing the brothers' conversation, silently plotted. Christian was pleased, good, he thought, now everyone sees Thurn as a novice, surely a swindler will target him soon. He asked inquisitively, so you'll keep playing? Thurn snatched the money bag from his hand, declaring, I will win, give me the money. Christian smirked wickedly, remember, I tried to stop you, he said, though his heart held a different scheme, don't say I didn't warn you, I hope you lose everything and become a juicy morsel, my dear brother. Every moment. As time passed, the people in the casino colluded. They were still employing many tricks in front of him, it was all going according to plan. Finally, Marie returned. She whispered, Master, I've found the men you mentioned. He looked up and praised, well done. Thurn, on the other hand, cried out in anguish, I lost 10,000 rupees. Marie cheerfully asked, I'm amazing, right? He raised a finger, confirming, yes, amazing. They both left the casino and went somewhere. Marie announced, we're here, master. He told her to open the door. The door opened, causing the people inside to startle and turn to look. They rushed forward, demanding, who are you? Without hesitation, Christian removed his mask, replying, surely everyone knows who I am now, don't they? Recognizing him, they cowered respectfully, asking his name, your lordship, what brings you here? He smiled, instructing them to call their master. Suddenly, an exclamation rang out, oh my God! Your lordship, are you here to gamble? This was Grantel, the head of the Grantel Trading Company. He might be famous for his business acumen, but in reality, Christian waved dismissively, stating frankly, I hope we can talk privately. Grantel fearfully asked, what is all this about? Christian acted swiftly, he was the casino owner, and he stated bluntly, you cheated my brother, someone I care deeply about, and you ask what this is about. Hearing this, he recoiled in shock, no way, could the man with the tiger mask be? Christian confirmed, indeed, he is the heir of Count Khazar. Thurn, Grantel quickly waved his hands, saying, your lordship, I swear, I only manage the casino, the actions of others are not my concern. Before he could further defend himself, Marie swiftly transformed, frightening Grantel, who screamed, "Do you want to die?" Terrified, Grantel quickly knelt, kowtowing and apologizing to Christian. "I apologize, if I had known he was the Count's son, I would never have dared to do such a thing, please have mercy." He asked, "Those aren't empty words, are they?" Grantel affirmed, "Of course not, I will compensate you, however much is necessary." Christian nonchalantly replied, 1,000,000 rupees. Grantel was utterly astonished. Grantel stammered, "Your lordship, we don't have that kind of money on hand." Christian quickly lowered the price, then 200,000. Grantel wept, asking, "Is that enough? Please understand, that's our entire fortune." Christian's gaze turned menacing. "You must give me one more thing," Grantel helplessly asked. "What is it?" After intimidating and extorting Grantel for his money, he used it to buy weapons. Marie was astonished. "I can't believe you used the 200,000 rupees you extorted to buy combat tools. That's truly an extraordinary plan," she added. "Your lordship." Christian stroked his hair haughtily. "Naturally, it's brilliant." Marie noticed the sword at his hip. "But the sword they gave you. It's grenade." Marie questioned, "Isn't that the holy sword that a hero of the past obtained by sacrificing his soul? I heard it's possessed by many demons because it's what heroes use after their fall. But now it's all rusted." Christian casually said, "It's fine, it's all part of the plan." Unwilling to listen to her rambling, he quickly gave her something. "That's enough, take this, you've been staring at this for a while, haven't you?" It was a gift. In Marie's hand was an exquisitely beautiful and delicate necklace. Marie was deeply moved by Christian's kindness. He continued rambling, "I feel one can't help but regret not having it, so I'm giving it to you so you can find peace and move on, don't misunderstand." Marie, touched, said sincerely, "Before death and even afterward, this is the first time I've received a gift like this, thank you, truly." Christian, hearing this, turned away, waving his hand, "All right, let's go home." Marie smiled brightly, replying, "Yes, master, I will put my heart into it as a thank you, and from now on, I will make you even tastier blood than before." Christian refused. "I already said I don't drink that, you're repaying my kindness with hostility." Marie was confused, "But that was in the strawberry juice you were drinking, master." He helplessly tried to stop her. "Can you please stop with the macabre jokes?" He suddenly dismissed a thought he couldn't recall. "Wait, I feel like I've forgotten something." Marie also wondered. I'm sure I'll remember later." Returning to the casino, Thurn was still sitting there, trembling, with only a single coin left in his hand. Early in the morning, Thurn yelled at the top of his lungs. The young man went to pull the blanket off Christian, who was fast asleep. Thurn accused him, "Why did you leave me? I almost got sold into slavery." Luckily someone recognized her. Christian yawned and apologized, "I'm sorry, I'm sure Grantel helped him with this." "Hey, I just repeated it and hey, don't you see anything wrong? You lost so you have to keep your promise. From now on, call me your respectable emperor brother, Thurn." Upon hearing this, Thurn's face turned pale, and he broke out in a cold sweat. The kid clutched the blanket tightly, filled with anger. Then, he reluctantly called, "Brother, brother." The other guy picked his nose and said, Say it again." Thurn, enraged, tore the blanket in his hands and shouted, "Respectable emperor brother." Hearing that, he flicked the booger from his nose, smiled, and praised, "Good, remember to always respect me." Thurn was so angry he almost vomited blood. Then he left, but not before saying, "One day, I will get my revenge, just you wait." Christian sat, chin in hand, watching Thurn leave, thinking, "That kid, he'll kill himself eventually, it's all his own doing." Eskid, Langham's son and the future head of the Dark Demon clan, is the strongest young master. I don't have any feelings for him because I'm not the real Christian, but if I want to become the clan head, I'll definitely have to face him. He clenched his fist, determined, "Just you wait, I'll help you avenge this." Thinking that, he paced back and forth, considering, "To do that, I need to subdue Melon first." Christian noticed the sword in his luggage. After changing clothes, he went to pick up the sword lying on the floor. Grenade, countless people have tried to wield it, but it was considered a mere display piece because no one could lift it. Curious, Christian grabbed the sword, wanting to try his hand. Let's see what happens. As soon as he touched the sword, it emitted a wave of opposing power, making his hand ache intensely. This confirmed his thoughts. As I suspected, it rejects dark energy. Of course, it's an artifact that uses holy light energy. He took out some repair tools from a box. You're just a sword, you know, I'll fix your dark energy rejection feature. Christian gripped the hammer and slammed it down on the sword. Each hammer swings down. They all carry enormous energy. He hammered the sword, but the hammer shattered instead. He looked at his other tools, frustrated. Christian picked up another hammer. Prepare yourself, and another one for my left hand. Then smiled and looked at the sword. With a cruel and menacing face. I'll do this all night. Hearing that, the sword trembled with fear. A few days later, at a secret training ground, his father asked, Christian, are you ready? He immediately replied, yes, sir, but, who is she? I think I've met her before. The woman turned around, and he quickly recognized her. Wait, he politely greeted, greetings, Commander of the Dark Knights. She replied, grandson, long time no see, this is Marion, Commander of the Dark Knights. Daughter of a clan elder, sister of your father, and the Langham Viscountess, protector of the elders, carrying out secret missions and overseeing the clan's activities. An elite among elites. Why is she here? Christian wondered. Christian's father answered, Marion is here to deal with that Cox fellow. Marion chuckled, that kid's quite audacious. Christian wondered, could it be that the elder wants to protect Eskid? This is going to be trouble. He smiled, it seems the elder is quite free to pay attention to such a small matter. Marion quickly told him that he was not interested in your mic chain. He is interested in you. Christian was surprised. This is my chance to win his favor, he resolved. Marion warned, however, I don't know if you're brave or foolish, you haven't even reached 2 stars, and you dare challenge Melon. Won't you postpone the match? Christian tightened his grip on the sword. He arrogantly replied, thank you for your concern, but I have my own way. As soon as she saw the sword, she recognized it. That's Grenade. Marion scolded, you've lost your mind. I know you're good at causing trouble, but I didn't expect this. She asked Christian's father, Ridden, didn't you say Christian had changed? He quickly defended his son, sister, I'm telling the truth. Marion didn't believe him. By using a holy sword in a duel, is that how he's changed? Christian wondered, I'm not allowed to use it, isn't it enough that I win? Marion sighed, even the clan head failed to subdue Grenade, that sword will turn you to ashes. Hearing this, Christian immediately wanted to express himself. So what? Marion prevents danger. He held the sword tightly in his hand without anything happening with a confident expression. Seeing everything was still calm. Marion wondered, a fake. Seeing Marion's disbelief, he threw the sword, wanting her to test its authenticity. Would you like to try it, ma'am? But as soon as she touched the sword, a rejection phenomenon quickly appeared. She immediately threw the sword to the ground without mercy. With surprise, how can you? He picked up the sword. It's a secret weapon, I can't tell you. But I can say one thing. The reason I can use the sword, even though the head of the family can't, is because I'm skilled. Ridden, hearing his son say this, showed the infatuated expression of a doting father. Suddenly, a sound rang out, attracting everyone's attention. The young master is as cheerful as ever, huh? Subdued the holy sword, huh? So it's Melon. She stepped out of the spatial gate, unconcerned about what he said or what he possessed. You won't see the sun tomorrow, Melon said with a confident expression. Leaving Christian speechless. Melon charged straight towards him, immediately parrying the blow with her sword. Just as I thought, there are no restrictions. Her strength and speed are incomparable to before. I can't close this distance at all, but... The 2 swords clashed, producing terrifying sounds. His sword emitted holy power, causing Melon's sword to warp. Ridden and Marion, witnessing from outside, couldn't believe the power of the holy sword countering the dark energy. With that skill, hasn't the boy surpassed you when he was younger? Marion continued. That's not the end. Look how that child is moving to use the holy sword, she said, pointing towards the two. The sword, imbued with divine power, was quickly enveloped by Christian's magical power. He immediately slashed at Melon, sending her flying backward. Ridden exclaimed in awe at the power, but it seems the boy's dark energy is fluctuating a bit. Marion affirmed. No. He's controlling his dark energy for a moment to avoid the holy sword's rejection. Melon quickly retreated, maintaining a safe distance. Then, Christian arrogantly asked, well, did this battle satisfy you? Melon replied, I've been thinking about this for a while, but are you predicting my movements? Christian cheerfully said, I happen to be quite observant. Every sword strike has a preparatory stance. She needs to raise her hand before she can swing down. And to do that, she needs to move the muscles in her shoulders and upper body. This is something both beginners and experts have in common. Melon let out a long sigh. Then she began using her magic. How about this? The sudden attack caught Christian off guard. Melon, thinking she had gained the advantage, cheerfully said, those dark sword knights are magic swordsmen, almost got into trouble there. At this moment, a blinding light shone. He cheerfully said, neat, but luckily, it's all right. Seeing what he was wearing around his neck, Melon was helpless. The purifying artifact, Christian cheerfully said to Ridden, Dad, I survived thanks to you. Ridden tilted his head in confusion. It should be in the secret vault. Christian honestly said, I sometimes have a little bit of a kleptomaniac habit. Hearing this, both Ridden and Thurn were helpless. Christian took something out of his clothes and affirmed, having good equipment is also a skill. He threw what he was holding. It quickly exploded, leaving Melon no time to dodge. He quickly warned, even if you dodge, it won't help. As soon as he finished speaking, he threw a red orb towards Melon. It quickly exploded. Seeing the explosion, he became relaxed and reflected, I got that artifact thanks to the money from Grantel. It was quite effective. Christian did not look down on the enemy and shouted loudly, I know you are still alive. Please come out here. As he finished speaking, a sword was launched from the sea of fire. Rushed towards him. He calmly slashed down. He quickly blocked Melon's sword. Melon's sword quickly shattered. Then exposed it in front of him. Ridden, immensely proud of his son's abilities, boasted to Marion, I wonder why that boy threw that corrosive jewel into the air. See, sister, I told you he's a genius. Marion, beside him, intently watched the fight without saying a word. Melon emerged from the explosion. Her whole body radiating killing intent, she called, young master. Melon grinned. Then, she furiously charged at him, praising, this is so fun, what will your next attack be? Marion gasped, exclaiming, oh my God, Melon has lost her mind, we need to stop her. But Christian quickly avoided Melon's punch. With just one hand. He flicked it, causing Melon's punch to redirect. Then she quickly backed away and was surprised that he blocked her attack. Finally, he pressed his sword to Melon's throat. Christian smiled excitedly, it seems victory is mine, is that enough for you? A cut on her face bled. Seeing his complete victory, Ridden was elated and incredibly proud, while Marion looked helpless. Melon couldn't help but laugh, you really ask that, I can't remain calm anymore. He quickly replied, then please give me an answer to my previous request as soon as possible, although victory is mine, I will respect your wishes if you refuse allegiance, it's not something that can be obtained by force anyway. Melon curiously asked, if I continue to side with you, will you continue to fight me like this in the future? He took Melon's hand, pulled her up, and replied, as much as you like. Scene change, Marion stood with clasped hands, looking into the distance. She was a little surprised by the use of dark energy. Recalling the chief's earlier rejection, throwing away the sword Christian possessed, I refuse. Marion was helpless, even the clan leader couldn't do it. The clan leader replied, I can use it for a while, but as you know, the dark energy waves are constantly changing. In other words, you have to constantly change the energy waves, so this sword can't sense the difference, but who can do that in a real battle? Perhaps only the demon king Gehenna or the black dragon demon world can do it, and if not them, then perhaps a crazy bastard who can control dark energy as easily as breathing can use this sword, and that crazy bastard is none other than Christian. He smiled and asked Marion, Marion, how did I do it enough to receive your praise? Marion said nothing. Then she sighed, perhaps my father's long-held wish can finally come true. A luxurious kitchen appeared, a beautiful scene with chefs and bakers passionately at work. A baker with a fierce face powerfully chopped down on a small object on the cutting board. The strawberry was quickly sliced in two, looking incredibly appetizing. Then, strawberries were neatly and meticulously arranged on a strawberry cake, making one's mouth water just looking at it. Christian exclaimed in astonishment, I can't believe he's making cakes. Marie laughed, oh ho ho, never mind his looks, his skills are top-notch. The baker, after finishing, approached him, his speech somewhat hesitant, young master, what brings you to the kitchen? Christian, hands on his hips, replied, to make some cookies. Marie questioned, you're making cookies? He confidently replied, to give to someone. Hearing that, Marie leaned on Christian, weeping heartbrokenly, for another woman, not me. Christian shouted, heavens, no, it's for a woman, all right. Seeing Christian rolling up his sleeves to begin, the baker politely offered, I can make the cookies for you. However, Christian refused, no, making the cookies with my own hands is important. Christian proudly closed his eyes, saying, it might not look like it, but these cookies are. Before he could finish, a splash of bright red liquid flew onto his face. The liquid came from the mortar where two fierce-faced bakers were furiously pounding what was once strawberries. Christian exclaimed in panic, hey, are you sure they didn't add blood to the strawberry juice? Marie only responded with laughter, oh ho ho. In a flash, everything was finished. Christian carried a box to where Marion was preparing her horse to leave and called out, Aunt Marion. Marion stopped and asked, Christian, what is it? Christian politely smiled, I heard you were leaving, so I came to say goodbye. Marion praised, I appreciate that, I'm sure you're still tired from yesterday's battle. Christian put the gift box in front of Marion and said, it's okay, I have a gift for you. Marion opened the gift box and inside were beautiful cookies of all shapes and colors arranged neatly in a pretty little box. She exclaimed in surprise, are they cookies? Marion's eyes lit up at the sight of the cookies, but her voice remained calm and serious. You didn't need to prepare a gift, Christian, she said. He replied cheerfully, it's a pleasure to see you again, and I wanted to prepare something. His father, standing beside Marion, stroked his chin. So, you finally came to see me. Does Marion have a favorite treat? He said, realizing, that's why he did that. That's commendable, he knows how to win people over. While Marion was still contemplating the cookies, Christian spoke up, please try one, I made them myself. Marion asked, really, you made these? She then took a bite and savored it. After the first bite, Marion was surprised by how delicious it was. However, she quickly regained her composure. They're delicious, she said. Christian cheerfully replied, I'm glad you like them. Marion said, I should give you something for this wonderful gift. Do you have a wish? At these words, Christian's eyes sharpened. He stated his wish, if possible, please become my real aunt. Marion resumed her serious demeanor and said, since we share the same blood, I'm sure your words have a hidden meaning. I heard from Ridden that you're practicing dark holy magic, is that right? Christian simply smiled and nodded. Marion said, I understand, so you want my support in the upcoming succession war. She bowed her head and sighed, unfortunately, I can't grant your wish. She explained, as you know, the elders from the main branch must remain impartial towards the candidates, that's the rule. Christian said, no, I'm making a sincere request, I just want to become closer to you. Marion asked, that's unreasonable, you truly have no other intentions. Christian calmly replied, of course, if you support me and secretly help me. He clasped his hands together, his eyes shining. I won't refuse. Then he continued to look at Marion with bright, sparkling eyes. Marion, while taking another bite of a cookie, said, I don't dislike your honesty. My nephew made delicious cookies and gave them only to me. I can only encourage that. After hearing that, Christian didn't ask for anything more, but simply smiled brightly. Thank you, Aunt. Marion asked, but in return, can I have more delicious cookies next time? He replied, that depends on you. Then, neither of them noticed someone nearby silently wiping away tears of emotion. Christian playfully shot a heart sign with his hand. If you make me sad, I might sulk and not make this flavor again. His childish action caused Marion to chuckle softly. But then she suddenly said, Christian, what do you think about joining the Dark Shadow Corps? Christian hesitated. Marion continued, you were very outstanding in the match against Melon. She began to persuade him, you could become even more extraordinary than the elders. However, your opponents won't be easily defeated. I worry your talent will wither before it blooms. However, Christian's firm reply was, if I fail following my own path, I'd rather die. He declared confidently to Marion. I understand your concerns, but I don't think I'll lose. Marion looked at him, pondering his unreasonable confidence. But for several reasons, she thought, if it's this child, he might succeed. She then said, I understand, fine, you're a devil anyway, I can't stop you from walking down the bloody path. She said this while mounting her horse. However, allow me to give you one piece of advice. She emphasized each word, beware of the noble ladies. Christian's father spoke up, beware of Julianne, not Eskid, but isn't she the most elegant? Marion gripped the reins and replied, you'll understand soon enough. Christian smiled, thank you very much, Aunt, I'll remember that. Marion softly turned away with a slight smile, then, until we meet again, my nephew. After Marion left, Christian returned to his room and lay back on his bed. He was silent, as if deep in thought. The room was unusually quiet. He was thinking about how strong his father and aunt were. They had both reached 6 stars. But I haven't heard much about them from the previous Great War. How many powerful warriors are there in the Magic Empire? Surely enough to easily overwhelm the Kingdom of Light. Thinking this, he remembered his past life, where the Kingdom of Light was helplessly destroyed by the flames of the Great War, but I don't want history to repeat itself. That thought made Christian clench his fist, his determination rising. I must become stronger, much faster. A month later, his father summoned him. Father called for me. His father replied, yes, I have something to tell you. However, before he could speak, his father's eyes widened in astonishment at the surprising sight before him. He looked at his son who had put on a different look. Wait, you've already reached 2 stars. Christian, with cold eyes, secretly thought that in just 1 month, such growth could be achieved. He shrugged and asked, I don't understand why you're surprised. Father, I promised you, didn't I? One side questioning, the other seething with anger. What do you want to say, Father? Why did you call me here alone at this hour? He placed a letter before him. He had received news from the main family. Only then did he speak. I nominated you and Thurn for the Dark Holy Ritual, but they only accepted Thurn, your younger brother. He sighed, his face falling. The reason was. The reason, like a punch to the heart, your extravagant spending and womanizing had destroyed everything, ruining the family assets while drunk, and even theft, all true. That reason caused Christian to feel his soul fly away, fainting on the spot. He glared angrily. They dare to look down on my son. He fainted before I knew it. Christian sat up and asked, was it the Viscount Langham who made this decision? After Eskid's misconduct, the Viscount doesn't have much say anymore, but... Suddenly, both of them simultaneously uttered the name on their minds, Loin de Baron. He is a direct descendant of the main family and a rising star of the Dark Holy Ritual. The Dark Holy Ritual is a ceremony where candidates absorb pure darkness from the negative dimensional space. Due to the limited amount of darkness, the candidates participate in a semi-official life-or-death battle to determine their ranking. Those ranked higher will absorb more darkness. It plays a crucial role in choosing the heir. If he wins and monopolizes the darkness, he will become the heir. And achieving his goal will become even more difficult. He stood up and approached him. Don't worry, I'll talk to them again. If all else fails, I'll even ask Marion for help. No need, father, I'll handle it myself. That hand gently rested on Christian's shoulder. Christian, I know you're talented, and you've changed. He offered advice, but you can leave this to the adults. His eyes softened as he looked at his father. I'm very grateful for your kindness, father. Suddenly, his face twisted into a sinister expression. But I have my own way. It's clearly not benevolent. You have an idea. Christian revealed his idea. Is there any child from the Earl Tyriman's family participating in the branch families? Yes, there is. The third son of Earl Tyriman will participate. Suddenly, he felt a surge of anger. That scoundrel sided with Loin, saying you have no right to participate in the dark holy ritual. He's just a fraud who only knows how to control magical beasts. He helplessly watched his father yell. He's a surprisingly loving father. Christian comforted him. Father, please calm down. I just need to prove myself. The Tyriman family will be holding a dark herb hunt. A slight smile curved his lips. I'll participate as the guide. The setting sun cast its golden light on the magnificent castles below. The clan leader instructed me to personally check on Christian. A subordinate entered, reporting to the mysterious figure of darkness. He's incomparable to the others. The head of the dark magic clan held a golden hammer, gently stroking it. I find it hard to believe. He mocked Christian. That child I remember, always thought he was a genius, when in reality, he's just a pretender. The one reporting was Marion. He's clearly different now. She listened to the clan head. I believe this child can fulfill the wish I've longed for. The long-held wish of the father, the reason he continues to live, even rejecting death through forbidden magic. Marion's face broke into a sweat at the question. I can't say, but he might be the closest to what my father desired. Silence hung in the air, filled only with his questions. Interesting, perhaps I'll keep an eye on that brat, but his participation in the upcoming dark holy ritual seems impossible, doesn't it? It's the common consensus within the clan. Shall I intervene? No, I can't interfere in such a trivial matter. How can someone who calls himself a beast fail such a small test? She seemed startled. Even as a beast, he's still just a child. I believe he deserves a chance to receive the darkness and awaken his potential. The clan head's face darkened, his sharp gaze piercing Marion. Feeling his sharp gaze, she lowered her head, avoiding it. He's always been like that. The more severe he is with those he has high expectations for. Since you're willing to go this far, you must truly like him. A blood drinker, summoned from a puff of black smoke, appeared before him. It was Simon, the head steward of the dark magic clan. You called for me, master. His face fell. You heard everything, didn't you? Yes, I just need to observe that boy, young Master Christian. Yes, report to me what he does before the dark holy ritual. Simon bowed, accepting the order. Understood, master. I have a question. Can I have a little fun while I'm observing? Marion's face showed slight displeasure at Simon's question. He accepted, but warned, don't overdo it. Simon, granted permission, gave a wicked grin, revealing sharp fangs. And he vanished in a puff of black smoke, fulfilling his master's wishes. Marion closed her eyes tightly, avoiding everything around her. I hope that child will pass safely. Sunset falls and the sunlight shines on the peaceful village below. Thanks to my talent, I quickly achieved 2 stars, but despite much physical training, my dark energy is still insufficient. I can't reach 3 stars now. I need a dark medicine to accumulate a large amount of dark energy in a short time. Yet, the Tyramans, the organizers of the dark medicine hunt, inadvertently made an enemy of me. What luck. The problem is, catching the carriage-off beast doesn't guarantee obtaining the dark medicine. The wheels rolled on the long road, and the twilight sun cast its glow. Instead, a special condition must be met. Grantel ran out from somewhere. Young master, what brings you here today, how have you been? Christian stepped out of the carriage with a maid. Wait, you didn't come empty-handed, did you? Of course not. Grantel just raised the bag in his hand when it was snatched away. How could I greet the young master without a gift? He tossed it to the ground, only gold coins scattered. Accompanied by his scornful words, such a paltry gift, it seems you don't know your place. Grantel's chubby cheeks rested on Christian's head. I hear you've been involved in all sorts of illegal activities. Suddenly, someone ran up shouting, tax evasion, gambling, are they profitable? What about the goods you swindled from the merchant guild? What do you want me to do, young master? The people forcing the bird woman immediately released her upon hearing her screams. This time I'll let it slide, but stop exceeding your limits, understand? Yes, yes, and there's something I need. He ran over and put his arm around him. Get me an ass pill. Grantel's whole body trembled with sweat. Ass pills have recently skyrocketed on the black market. Oh, I understand. He turned to the maid beside him. Are you ready, Marie? He. She suddenly transformed into a grotesque monster with sharp fangs. My torture skills are top-notch, you know. Grantel, seeing Marie's terrifying form, was startled and panicked. He quickly knelt down. I'll go get it right away. Isn't cooperation so much easier? Christian winked. By the way, get me a knife sharp enough to cut through armor. Hearing this, his face showed some confusion. He didn't understand what Christian intended. After a while, he finished everything and quickly left. See you later. Grantel, in the rear, cursed and cried silently, a miserable wretch. Marie, sitting beside him, asked, going home, young master? No, there's one more place we need to go. He noticed something in the distance. Coachman, can you stop here? The carriage screeched to a halt. Christian quickly entered a shop. Welcome. He browsed the menu for a while. Let's see, I'll take this. A pink potion was placed on the counter. Young master, why this? I have a purpose for it. Marie whispered in his ear, you need an aphrodisiac. Marie in the shop continuously looked at him with suspicion. That made Christian sweat profusely. His face turned slightly pale. He suddenly turned angrily to her. Master, perhaps, it's not. She still used an embarrassed tone, laughing. Okay, I understand. I said it's not. Marie's face suddenly darkened. It's not for you, it's for someone else. He nodded gently, perhaps for the Count. The shopkeeper couldn't believe his ears. Considering my father's age, he needs good care. Christian slapped the shopkeeper. For the Count's honor, you must keep absolute secrecy. Yes, I will be very careful. Scene change. Thurn is walking with his father towards Christian. He patted him lightly on the back, making him tremble. My respected imperial brother. Thurn reminded his brother, I heard hunting dark medicine is very dangerous, so be careful and don't get hurt. He winked teasingly. Oh, you're worried about me now, imperial brother. I'm only worried we won't have a proper duel. Christian's father turned to him. Come now, you two, stop bickering, let's humble those arrogant tyremins. Christian smiled brightly. I'll bring back good news, but what was that about the emperor just now? He patted his blushing brother on the shoulder. Father doesn't need to know. Father, the Tyramin Count's house. At the Tyramin Count's house, a place of beautiful scenery, leaves rustled, bathed in sunlight. His servant blocked the entrance to the mansion, grinning maliciously. I'll say it again, you're not allowed to enter the Count's villa. He and his companions, furious, said, how dare you say that after making us wait here? Do you know who this is? Christian stood silently, listening to the servant. Young Master Aloys gave the order. He doesn't care about a bastard like you. His anger erupted. That means I have to find my own lodging. The butler saw the powerful murderous aura, his face covered in sweat, and gingerly replied, that's it. The person next to him stepped up to help him. Young master, I will immediately go and bring his head back, but you stopped that action. Christian stepped forward to the butler. Hey, what about the lodging fee? How could you send the bill to Count Tyramin? He chuckled softly. Is that so? The sunlight shining on the fountain made the water droplets sparkle and reflect. The magnificent white palace was like a mirror, reflecting everything. He and everyone quickly entered the hotel. The butler, seeing the grandeur, cleaned up and asked, "How much does this place cost, at least?" He generously replied, 100,000 rupees. It's not often we get to spend someone else's money so freely, you know. His luggage has been placed in the lobby. Everyone will have an hour with their luggage before we go for drinks. His luggage was emitting a bright green light. I think I just heard something. Marie appeared from somewhere, floating down like a goddess. "Master, this villa is amazing." She was captivated, oblivious to everything around her. "It's not perfect enough to serve you, master. Why are you here?" Marie skipped happily. "I was hiding in your luggage, master. I promised to be your maid forever, master. You're so adorably embarrassed." He could only stand there helplessly, listening to her. From his expression, it seemed he missed me terribly. Aloys, the third son of Count Tyramin, received the bill and angrily exclaimed, "What's this bill?" Christian sneered contemptuously, "So you're going to be rude? Oh, aren't you the main character of the Black Medicine Hunt? You told me to find my own lodging, so I did. What did I do wrong?" He said from the side, angering Aloys, "A big shot like me can't stay in a mediocre hotel. I only bought a villa, and you're making a fuss over money." Aloys gritted his teeth. "Considering you're a pathetic person who doesn't know how to receive guests, I consider that a cheap price to teach you manners." He was now furious, clenching the paper in his hand. Aloys summoned a black panther and threatened, "Do you really want to die?" Christian wasn't afraid, secretly thinking it was Count Tyramin's subjugation magic. Unlike the taming of the Melon League, subjugation magic is a hack. It binds and controls beasts with fear. Secret formulas are added to paralyze the beast's rationality and induce hallucinations of fear and excitement. However, it's more complicated than I thought, so it'll be hard to learn it all in a short time. Let's just beat it to a pulp for now. He calmly ordered Marie from the side. "Marie, to eliminate that fearsome cat, we'll need a weapon, right?" A weapon appeared in his palm. Christian smirked provocatively. "What are you waiting for? Come on, attack like a true demon." Aloys didn't accept the provocation and immediately ordered the panther to attack. "You damned brat, don't order me around." He snarled, his sharp fangs and saliva spraying everywhere. He gently parried the bite with a long sword. But the bite was too strong, shattering the sword. Christian was quickly thrown backward. He woke up after the dust settled. Not bad, but isn't 2-against-1 cheating. Even though he was pushed back, Christian still provoked him. "Not good enough. If you win, I'll join you as a bodyguard instead of a shepherd. At least someone of this caliber is needed to cover expenses, right, cheapskate?" Aloys, blinded by rage, rode the panther and charged. "You arrogant brat." His eyes glowed red with anger. "I'll make you kneel." The black panther glared at him with sharp eyes and a long claw. Aloys, riding it, charged like a hero. Suddenly, as it pounced, it found no one there. He sat on the panther, bewildered. Where is he? He didn't know Christian had appeared behind him. A single blow landed on Aloys's neck. He continuously received painful blows, screaming. After a while, he stopped. "What? Don't cry." Aloys's eyes were bloodshot with rage. "I won't go easy on you just because you cry. Shut up." Two sides faced each other, one like death itself, the other blinded by hatred. The Black Panther's eyes were now slightly hesitant, not as fierce as before. Suddenly it became strange. The leopard knelt down trembling and crying, "You bastard, how dare you do that to my Choco?" Christian chuckled charmingly, "Oh my, I only used a 2-star illusion spell, seems it was too much for your pathetic suppression magic to overcome." Aloy summoned a magic circle, furious and yelling, "Shut up, you damned bastard." The magic circle summoned a huge black horse. He chuckled from the side, "Hey, do you know the characteristics of garbage?" Before he could finish, he received a powerful blow from him. It flew past his head and soared behind him. Aloys was instantly knocked unconscious and fell to the ground. Christian then asked, we don't have time to wait for transformations or incantations, you know. The horse in the magic circle shook its head violently, afraid of his attack. Only shouts of leaving echoed. He quickly entered a casino to gamble. Young master, you're allowed to do this, right? We have plenty of time, we should rest while we can. Under the gambling table were mysterious cards face down. But you're not resting now, are you? Christian answered irritably, what's wrong with an incompetent person doing incompetent things? Then, cheerfully turning to Marie, right, Marie, of course, everything's fine. She brought him a glass of incredibly fragrant ginger ale, as long as the young master doesn't drink alcohol. Upon seeing the drink, he instantly burst into tears. Under the gaze of the two Tyramin household members, he picked up the ginger ale, trembling and weeping, damn it, I want alcohol, I don't like ginger ale. The Duke's servant spoke up, why does young Master Aloys want us to keep an eye on such a scoundrel? Christian turned to the two, hey, why don't you join in? He provocatively mentioned their master, I'm sure your master won't wake up until tomorrow, I beat him to a pulp. I'll keep it a secret, what do you think? Their faces turned angry, they growled, don't worry about your own business, oh, then feel free to watch me. As the twilight descended, Christian remained at the casino gambling, alright, deal the cards and my share of the alcohol, I won't yield this time, young master. They gambled until nightfall. The two butlers' eyes glared at him as if they wanted to devour him alive. It turned out Christian had passed out from drinking, definitely an incompetent fool. It was useless to keep watching like this, he was unconscious, still with a card on his head, let's go make a report. Suddenly, the card fell, and Christian woke up. He woke up as if he hadn't been drunk. Christian tidied up, grabbed his coat, and went outside. As he walked, he thought, those troublesome pets, it's dark already, I should act. He packed everything into a large bag, Marie, I need to go somewhere quickly, so don't follow me. Her face fell when he told her not to follow. Marie asked about the medicine he bought earlier, young master, is there an aphrodisiac in there? I knew it, that's not for the count, but for the young master's use. She assumed he had other beautiful girls and would use the medicine with them, it's sad I can't go to bed with you. But I'll cheer on your nighttime activities, you enjoy sneaking around, don't you? Dark night enveloped Mount Kaitan, the night scenery was silent, without a sound. A figure appeared in the forest, Christian, wearing a hat, he stealthily walked along the path. This was the secret area of the Tyramin Count's family, the energy of monsters was incredibly strong here, just as rumored. He lightly touched the tree branches, I'll reach the hunting ground soon. After a while, he finally saw a camp with two large fires lit, here it is. There were only two very lax guards at the gate, only two guards, so lax. His body was enveloped in magic, making him difficult to detect, good thing I learned invisibility magic from Marie. Marie suddenly appeared, startling him, young master, what are you going to do with the invisibility magic, heh, why do you keep mentioning that? Christian, invisible, walked past the guard as if nothing happened. He quickly infiltrated their base. Then, a place bathed in moonlight drew his attention, he entered the magic circle. This was the shrine where they would hold the black medicine hunting ritual, so strange, just as the rumor said, the problem is. Christian recalled the instructions, to obtain the black medicine, you must make a Karajoff offer its life to you. In other words, you must terrify it to the point where it would rather die. Christian drew some lines on the ground. Then, a light exploded like a huge blast as opposing forces connected, terrible fear and joyful delight intertwined. In that brief moment, the useless pill will be reborn as a black medicine. That's why Count Tyramin's family, which specializes in overwhelming monsters through fear, is the leading family in hunting black medicine. After hearing this, Christian's mouth slightly curled into a smile, I understand. As Lena said, I intend to steal Tyramin's ultimate skill. To drive Karajoff insane after giving it an aphrodisiac mixed with other things and monopolize the black drug. The moonlight shone on his dark soul, but there wasn't enough time to steal and learn it from them, I have to find another way. Suddenly, a feeling of someone appearing behind Christian made his face darken. He quickly turned around to find it was just the endless expanse of the night. Looking into the forest, no one was there. Christian silently stood up and curiously walked towards that direction. Each heavy footstep approached the place where someone had appeared behind him. In the vast forest, birds flew straight, the night was silent, only the crunching footsteps remained. Very quickly, that mysterious dark shadow led to a large, enormous cave. He looked up into the cave. He discovered an incredibly terrifying amount of demonic energy flying past. Christian slightly frowned at the terrifying demonic energy. Inside the cave was a massive magic circle. Just by looking, he recognized it as a top-tier dark magic barrier. Don't tell me this is the Gehenna Fissure, an extremely dangerous place. Gehenna, the demonic realm. The fact that a fissure connecting it to the human world is here. But the magic formations inside continuously appeared. Suddenly, he stopped. Wait, what if I lure Karajov here? Christian took out the vial he had bought that afternoon. I still have something to lure it with. He sneered. Good, I can't wait any longer. Christian continued walking deeper inside, but he didn't notice a red shadow silently following him. It spread its clawed wings. It was Simon. He had appeared to toy with Christian. I didn't expect that kid to be so interesting. He had observed and followed him throughout his journey. He not only beat up young Tyramin but also made the supervisors let their guard down by pretending to be incompetent. His actions were clearly observed by him, secretly entering the forbidden area to search for something. Simon smiled, revealing two fangs. This makes me want to play a much bigger prank on him. He stepped closer, stepping on the magic formations, then hesitated. He reached inside, slightly oozing gray matter. Drops of gray matter slowly dripped onto the magic formation below. It created an extremely eerie scene. A mysterious voice echoed, "What is your wish, defiler?" Simon licked his lips and reached towards the fissure.